Now, before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on that bell notification so you know when we upload. Welcome to Rugby Heads, where we cover all things in the world of rugby. My name is Sione, and joining me, one of our regular rugby nerds, Alfonso Horomia. Welcome, mate. How are ya?
Very good, bro. Very good weekend of rugby, wasn't it?
Yes, very exciting. We'll get into that very, very shortly. But firstly, if this is your first time joining us, or if you're a regular here and you haven't done yet, please show your support by hitting that like and subscribe button. And a quick little rundown of today's show. It's only the two of us. I believe Ironside's called in sick again. I believe that's 3 weeks in a row. I'm sure Freeney will be onto it in the group chat. But Nems is on his way back from Fiji. He'll be joining us in our later in the week pod on Thursday. So make sure you check that one out. But myself and Fonz will go into our top performers of the week, our opportunity to give flowers to the players who stood out for us over the weekend's play, and then we go around the grounds. We go review all the actions from Super Rugby Pacific round 1, and then we debate and select our Super Rugby team of the week, and then we have a look at how we went in first week of fantasy rugby, both in the public league and in our top league. Now, Fonz, you want to kick off with your top performer of the week?
Ooh. There was actually a few good players.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go with the Crusaders winger, Seville Reese. That guy was everywhere in that game, wasn't it? It come to life.
Yeah.
And every time they made a break, who was it? Seville Reese, always on the edge. I think what I like about him is that he comes off his wing and he comes looking for the ball as well. So we'll get into that a bit more when we talk about the game itself.
Yeah, mate, how exciting was he? Even just when he got the ball, he'd always do that little stop and then he'd just gas it out on the wing. And mate, it was just exciting to watch, especially for that first game of the year. Mate, I was at work, but I was going, just going to scream it to myself. But yeah, I had mine's Aussie flavour. This guy ruined our multi. I'll let him know in our DMs as well. And he clapped back because we should have backed him, and we will from now on. We forgot how good he is, especially at closing out games for the Brumbies. There's a reason why they are the best Aussie team for the last few years. Luke Reimer, mate. I mentioned he ruined our multi, but came back from a HIA check. Firstly, I don't know how he passed it, even if he did the test before the game. But he came back, 4 turnovers and 2 tries, key tries to win the game from Drua, where it looked like with 20 minutes left, it looked like Drua were well and truly going to make our multi, keep our multi alive, but it didn't happen. Another shout out, not a player, but a collection of piggies. The Moana Pacifica scrum in the second half. Holy. I was getting PTSD. Yeah, I was getting PTSD against my time against Jeeps and Sunnybank, doing the old moonwalk. But, mate, yeah. But shout out to Force, mate. It's only the first game. There's always come back, mate. You always get another chance. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, mate. So we'll get into how that game finished too later. But let's go around the grounds. Super Rugby Pacific, one of the best opening rounds of Super Rugby I can remember since our South African brothers left the competition. Close score lines and tactical brilliance from players and coaches. So let's just get into game 1. On the Friday, we had the Crusaders versus the Hurricanes in Crusader Town. Fonz, key takeaways and your standout players.
I thought the Canes started rapidly. 2 quick tries there by their hooker. I mean, I thought, the Crusaders, they might be in a big trouble straight from the get-go. Yeah. Barrett obviously got the yellow card. That didn't help as well. And then obviously injuries to Hotham. That was a big one. Early, first half, first game of the year. You don't like seeing that happen, but it opened up the door for someone else, didn't it? Yeah. And for the 0.5% of people that picked him in fantasy, geez, what a pick that would have been. And that's Kyle Preston. For those who didn't know, he was actually a roofer from Wellington Ways, played for Wellington Lions, won the NPC title, went down south to go play some extra minutes, thinking that Roy Guard's not going to play the majority of the minutes at the Canes, and man, what a hat trick on debut, wicked. Yeah. He scored some cracking tries. Great shout out to him. I just think the Crusaders, their bench, the impact of the bench was real good. Obviously, we talked about Preston. I also thought James O'Connor come on, and I thought he just added some subtle touches and something different from Taha Kemura, because I thought Taha Kemura played well as well in that first fly half position. Also, obviously, we've got to talk about Civil Reese again. I'll say one thing he does well, apart from other wingers, I reckon, is he comes off his wing and he just hunts for work all the time. Even if it's just a little pick and go, or he's just hovering around the inside or outside of the 9-10. He's very good at it. And man, I thought I had him in my fantasy, so I was happy. Good 90 points there from Civil Reese. I was happy as about that. But I would give another special mention to the Hurricanes back row. Some of the stuff that Duplessis Karifi was doing, oh my gosh, just some of his hard carries over gain line. They just fell off the pace a little bit, and there wasn't much in that game. And what a great start to the year, that very first game down in Christchurch.
Mate, exciting game. And when they raced away to a 14-point lead, the Hurricanes, I thought, oh, well, it looks like the old Crusaders from last year again. But then, mate, as soon as, they got their players back, Barrett back, and they're fighting back. And then you see Will Jordan. We forgot Will Jordan was missing those first few games last year, and his impact, and even David Havili, his little trucks through getting them over the ad line. Yeah. I thought, okay, they're actually starting. And then I was impressed with that young 10, Kemera. Mate, impressive. Yeah. But then Jock, mate, just some of the things you could see that the pressure doesn't get to him. He's just like that. When he put Will Jordan through that gap, I'm like,
short ball.
Bro, mate, just outstanding to see. And it's good to see Jock. It's weird to see him in the Crusaders jersey, but it's good to see him, mate, play well over there. And he kept our multi alive on the first game, which was good. Also, as soon as Hotham got injured, I'm like, oh, they're done. And then the camera panned to who was coming on, and I'm like, oh, I remember him from ITM or NPC, and I was like, okay. And then I didn't realize he was going to go on and kick on and score 3 tries on debut, mate. Outstanding. It was good. And mate, Fehi Finau-Nganofu, we called it it last week as a player to watch. And mate, he didn't get many opportunities, but the ones that he did, he made it. He broke that first 1 and 2 tackles. I thought he took too many steps when he broke through on that last one. He had that inside. But mate, it just shows the class of the Crusaders trekking back, and I think a few tries the Hurricanes left out there. So mate, it's going to be both going to be good teams this year, and mate, the whole comp is actually exciting. Some of these players will be pushing on into our team of the week, I'm sure of it. And then we go into the next game. The first half was a little bit scrappy. It was a typical, you got that exciting game early on the Friday, and then you go over to the Aussie teams, just ruin your chub for the weekend. But then the ending was outstanding. Your thoughts on the game and your standouts? Yeah,
I have to echo what you said there. That first half was very slow, wasn't it, after watching that first game? But it come to life second half, didn't it? I think both teams, it was tit for tat. There were so many lead changes there. But I would say just the physicality from the Tars, I thought was real good.
Yeah.
I thought Joseph Swiley played well at fullback as well, seeing that we haven't seen him there before. So there was a couple good opportunities there where they've gone down the side and they've broken out and they nearly scored. The other shout-out I talked about last week was Caleb Tangitau. He scored a great try off the quick line-out. The Tars just fell asleep. But just impact off your bench again. And Amoni. The replacement prop come on, scored 2 tries. One was a nice set piece play off the line out, halfback swoop around, everyone chased the halfback, and he come down the short side of the line out. Beautiful try there, and then obviously that last try, just straight muscle and just straight over the line. So that's on the buzzer. You can't ask for more from the Tars. They actually have to bye this week, so. It's good that obviously they've got their one, they can head into a bye straight away. So, but look, another exciting ending to a better second half.
Yeah, like I think the Waratahs will have a lot to work on, but the positive thing about it is they played pretty poorly on their standards, by their standards, like the team that they. And they actually won the game. So, mate, it's exciting. It's good to see the crowd slowly. It's building. Like they got that first one out, and I think after a few they'll get it. Your thoughts on? I was scratching my head over the tactic in the first half. They kept going at it like that, like just bombing the ball for Swelly, and then like Tangitau scored his first try off. That no one caught it, bounce, and then they just and Tangitau got the ball out wide and went through, beat 2 to score. Your thoughts on that tactic, like just trying to kick for Swaley?
Well, he's good under the high ball. I mean, we all know that. I guess that would have been a preempted tactic. But it's also kicking on your terms. I mean, you don't want to be kicking if you're going backwards or it's stagnant ball. You actually want to kick on your terms, and where your chaser got a bit of quick ball, kicking it up for him, and he's onto it. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they did switch it a little bit after that, but I just think that it was very. It's very test match kind of like rugby, isn't it? Because Super Rugby is very different. It's you don't really see that test style. But I mean, I don't mind it. But yeah, I just think that maybe you have to adapt to if it's not working, let's go do something else.
Did you see what Soiley said after the game? How he said it was more intense than Test rugby. But I think it was just everyone would have had. Everyone's like aiming for him from the Highlanders would have been aiming for him, and he didn't have the easiest game, but mate, he kept coming, and that good break in the second half. Luckily, they scored off it eventually, or got some points off it. But mate, it's exciting, and that when you talked about the end of the game, old Tars would have dropped the ball trying to get all those phases to get to that position to win the game. But mate, it's good to see. It's just good to see Aussie teams winning, all three getting up this weekend. So mate, it's good. And if you're in Sydney, make sure you get out, support the Tars. Mate, it's an exciting round of rugby. Speaking of the reason why our multi lost, this is the only one that didn't hit for mine and Fonz's. Nems and Freeney, they lost 2. So, mate, Drua, Fiji, the conditions look tough. But, mate, they ended up getting it just off the back of Luke Reimer. Your thoughts on the game and your standouts?
Well, yeah, you have to talk about the weather because there were so many handling errors all game, to be honest. Brumbies and the Drua, more Brumbies side of it. And obviously it was hot because you saw Big Nems there. He was sweating like his missus was going through his phone. So, but going back to the game, the Brumbies, they looked like they were the ones that wanted to play. Where the Drua where they were just doing a lot of one-out running. It was real easy pickings, and the Brumbies weren't really committing too much at the breakdown, which means they could fan out. But once the game got into it, the Drua, you give them a couple of sniffs and they're going to score, aren't they? They're dangerous. They're dangerous in a bit of space. And, I mean, the way they switch from defence to attack on a turnover is real quick. I did think the Brumbies' shape was real good of Lola Seal. I did think... good friend of mine, Andrew Muirhead, he got clubbed a few times off, from obviously the fullback and the wingers all game. Jeez, there's a few shots there. But it just frustrates me watching the Drua, and we talk about this all the time. Last couple of years, it's their discipline. And if they really want to go far in the competition, their discipline just got to be better. You can't be inviting good teams with your poor discipline down in your end of the field. They have to get that right. I feel, and obviously letting an 8-point lead slip away with 10 to go. They were in the box seat there to win that, and I wouldn't say they took their foot off the pedal. I did think Luke Reimer, I thought he was awesome. Those turnovers, and it's just game changers, kicking down the corner. Their set piece is very good. The Brumbies front row I thought played well as well. So, even the whole 4-pack from the Brumbies were very good. The Drua will be kicking themselves because there's been a lot of talk of them winning all their home games and having to win a couple away from home. They're going to have to win, I think, a few more games away from home if they really need to push for finals this year. So, they're definitely kicking themselves. And I was kicking them during the game because I had Yusufa Masi in my both my fantasy teams, and I was just like, just feed him early, and like just getting frustrated. They weren't getting the ball much, but mate, credit to the Brumbies that no one gave him a chance. Like they didn't put out their strongest team. We had Drua 13 plus, and some of the people let us know. But we listened and we chose charge. But yeah, mate, it was good spectacle. It was sold out, like Nem said, in Fiji. Mate, I was impressed with the Brumbies bench front rowers that came on, the big Tonys, mate. They did a job, and mate, they ended up getting
getting the chocolates and taking them home. So, mate, Drew's going to find it hard to crawl back. They got to get that consistency, which is a big thing for Drew, especially away from home. So, mate, best of luck to the boys. But yeah, all right. Now, grand final replay, mate. It lived up to the hype. Chiefs getting away, your team getting away with their revenge at Eden Park with 11-point win. Your key takeaways and standouts.
Man, you watch that start of the game and it's very physical, isn't it? The Blues, that's very Vern Cotter physical way of playing, and you notice the Chiefs started tidying up a bit with their centres, with Rona and Tapia.
Yeah.
They were doing a lot of the crash. It was like having 10 forwards on the field, but I felt like they were just a bit guilty of going one too many in tight, where I thought they could move the point of attack. And the Blues, you give them a sniff and they score, isn't it? So I thought another great game, but I think that there's a few turning points for me in this game. One was the bench coming on, and the switch of Damien McKenzie from 15 to 10. It just changed the whole dynamic of the game. Obviously, with D-Mac, he takes the ball on a bit more. He's a lot more of a threat at 10, so it's got to keep the defence a bit more honest. I also thought the other turning point was the yellow card to Fusatua, the head collision with Finau. I thought that was real big momentum shift because the Chiefs went on to score not long after that. Their scrum was just dominant, obviously 7 forwards for the Blues. And also the other big turning point, I think, was the try saver from Ratima in the corner. I don't know how he saved that try when Talia went in the corner. I thought that was a try for all money. And Talia's in my multi, so I actually wanted him to score quietly. So, I have to give raps to another good player on debut, and that was Leroy Carter, New Zealand Sevens. He was busy coming off his wing too, looking for work. Scored a great try as well, spreading it wide. And I'm happy for Chiefs man to come away with a win against Auckland. But also they Blues didn't score second half as well. They kept them to 0. And that's a huge defensive effort as well from the Chiefs. So, look, good game. The Blues they're good. They're a great side. They'll bounce back easy. So,
yeah, dangerous to whoever the Blues are facing next week, mate. It was great to see. Like the last few years, it's been slow getting a crowd out there. They always build it up once the Blues win a few games, but it was good to see a decent crowd out at Eden Park. So, mate, it was like Freeney in the group chat early. He was going, fuck, the Blues suck. But, I mean, he said the Chiefs suck, actually, in the first half. He was like, the Chiefs suck. But I'm like, bruh, look at the bench, mate. Just wait for the bench. 'Cause in my head, I was like, that's about a 14-point bench there. Like, once they all come on, and, mate, they made a difference. Ratima, the speed of the ball when Ratima came on, mate, is just unreal. But it helped more because of the forwards that came on as well. I thought Benny and Tupou were good around the park. And, mate, and you said it, mate, when D-Mac went at 10, and with Ratima giving him that keen ball, that ball right in front, as soon as they had the gaps, he fed them and they got the points off it. So, mate, it was an exciting game, and that was like as soon as they put the bench on, I'm like, brass, this is like that when Rusty does shit like that. This is you get that goose, like, oh, what's coming, and it came. But I got a shout out to the Blues. I was impressed with Dalton, especially in that first half. Mate, he's got that dog in him. Mate, that for our team of the week at number 7, we got some names there to try and filter. Yeah. So, mate, Dalton, I thought he was unreal. But yeah, Ratuma for me, he was my standout. Like he switched the game just off him, and especially that defensive effort, mate. That's crazy. Talia, mate, you would have had him easily scoring that one. So shout out to the Chiefs and the Blues. Great atmosphere. Looking forward to the rematch later in the year. So, mate, it's unreal. And then mate, the drama didn't stop this last game. Mate, my team Moana, you made your debut on the Moana social media this mate. I don't know, that's probably why you got your Moana shirt on, mate. Mate, it was great game to watch. It's kind of good for rugby that the Force won at home, but it was still hurting my heartstrings when my Moana boys lost in the last few in overtime. The Don, mate. He showed why he's the best in the country, running 70 metres to break the hearts of Moana fans. Your key takeaways and standouts.
Oh, I did the same thing that Freeney said. I thought Moana had the game with 4 minutes to go.
Me too.
And I should have shut my mouth, wasn't it?
I said,
should have shut my mouth.
I said, too many Sydney blokes in that. And who scored? One of the Sydney blokes.
Oh, look, I actually watched the whole game and I look at Moana in that game, and one thing that stood out for me straight away was the 9 and 10. With Garden Bishop obviously running the ship there at 10. I just felt like it was they felt like they were a lot more of a complete team with him at 10.
Yeah.
Just his game management, and Tamatene giving him a nice quick ball. They both played a good game, 9 and 10. I did feel there's a lot of mistakes off kickoff. No one could catch a kickoff for the first half. The amount of errors from both sides, you might as well just pass the ball back to the opposition. That's how bad it was on the kickoffs.
In their defense, I think the sun was crazy.
Oh, mate, no one could catch that first half, that kickoff. So, but you look at again, a bit like the Drua, up by 13 with 4 minutes to go. You just cannot take your eye off the ball for 1 second, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I got to give credit to the Force, just building those phases towards the end.
Yeah,
and they didn't panic, even though they weren't going anywhere. They were just running the phases, and it just so happened, obviously, Donaldson scored down the other end, and what a great ending to that match as well. We all had the Force, but geez, I thought we'd lost our multi right there as well.
I would have been happy. I would have been happy to lose it too if Moana won, but hey.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like the Force needed to bring their bench on a bit earlier. That's how I felt. Guys like Dylan Peach, he come on and made a big difference on the wing. He carries hard. He's looking for work. Isaac Vines, our good mate. I just feel like Nick White just brings a different game from Isaac. Isaac, obviously, he likes to scoot out and asks a bit more of the defenders, especially when forwards are getting tired. But I was so not upset, just gutted for Moana. You used to see their faces right at the end of the game, and they were just shocked after that, isn't it?
I was hands on heads too, because I do our posts after the game, the score, who won, and then a few little memes to go in the carousel, and then after that I was like, nah, dungeon closed, mate, hands on heads. And then I was like, nah, we got to do it, mate. We got to do it for the game. But mate, I was like, even in those last few phases, I don't know how many phases they got up to, but it felt like 30 phases before Dono went through, and like probably half of those 30, I was like, fuck, ref, off their feet, mate. But mate, I felt every ruck. I was in every play, and then when Dono went through, I'm like, but it was kind of good because he's one of my favourite Aussie 10s. And he's done that a lot when he was at the Tars too, just slicing through, because it doesn't look as fast as he actually is, mate. And especially on 1 foot, especially on 1 foot, he rolled his ankle early in the half. So mate, it was good for him to play on and actually go the entire length. And mate, felt good for the Force, mate. They're like the runt of the Aussie rugby. They even tried to get rid of them. Now they're back, and mate, it's good to see them get a win, and hopefully the sea of blue grows throughout the season. So make sure you get out there and support the boys, but make sure you get out to the Reds. All the Queensland, Brisbane people, get out to the Suncorp on Friday night, and let's get around Moana. I mean, and the Reds as well. And
I must say, of the Force, they've been through a lot, haven't they, in the last 20 years of their inception. So, I mean, that's a great one for them. I just have to give two more mentions as well from the Moana side. Patafilo at 13. I thought he played an amazing game at 13 for them. He was great. And the other one was Whailangi. the flanker,
Miracle,
the amount of breaks he made and just hunting on the inside of the breaks. I thought he played well. He pushed it a couple of times. I lost it, but I mean that's okay. It comes with the territory. But I just thought he played well. But cannot wait to go watch them on Friday here in Brisbane when they play the Reds. So great time.
Both of those centers played well. Even is the Lolo Milo the 12?
Yeah, Lalo Mill. Yeah,
mate, he was outstanding too. Mate, the minor team, but definitely different this year, and you can feel it. You feel that buzz, and especially when the replacement front row came on, man, outstanding. Like the starting ones were clean, but then these boys they came like trying to stop names like Bonnie from trying to take their spot next week, mate. Mate, it was mate, like all those scrums.
Mate. Oh my goodness.
See, mate. But yeah, they got unlucky a few times with the ref, on some of the decisions, but maybe that's just my one hat. But yeah, mate, hopefully that scrum battle is going to be tough this week. I think the Reds, we'll get into it on the later in the week pod, but mate, the Reds have got something cooking as well, so it's going to be a great battle at Suncorp next weekend. Okay. That was the round 1 of Super Rugby Pacific. What a round. Looking forward to round 2. Make sure you tune in on Thursday where we preview the round 2 and also Six Nations, the comeback of Six Nations next weekend. Now, let's go and debate our team of the week. Starting with Loosehead, I had 3 names here. I had to give my flowers to Tito Tuipulotu, who came on for Moana in the second half. As soon as he came on from that first scrum, he did a job, and I felt sorry for Tian. I've been there. I'm like, and there's nothing you can do. There's literally you can try your best, but he's that good. You can't do anything. And mate, Tian eventually came off with an injury. But mate, if that was me, I would have been making up an injury to come off. So mate, Tito was that good. I had to shout him. He played at Hong Kong Tens last year in the team that beat us. And then I had Xavier Numia, my one of our MVPs from last year. He also is just solid for the Hurricanes. And then Aussie Angus Bell, that first half, mate, he was doing a lot of work with ball in hand. So who did you have?
I was leaning towards Bell, but honestly, after I think you might have changed me here. I think Tuipulotu, just BCF, and how good is that when the scrums is going in reverse at the rate or not, isn't it?
Yeah, so and it wasn't just against Tian. Like when Tian went off, they brought on Robertson, and then Robertson got BCF'd, and then he got carded, and then they brought on Molly, All Black, and then he got BCF'd. I'm like, it must be this guy, man. It's just him and Malolo, Sam Malolo that came on. Man, they were just like you see them working together, and they were like getting overhyped. Even the backs got hyped and gave away a penalty. It came in chi-hooing too much. I was so pissed off. You
can blame Nick Watt for that too.
Yeah, I was like, fuck the backs, man. That would have been a frustrating moment. I'm sure they'll go through it in the video, like just the backs coming in and ruining like something little. The ref probably jumped the gun there. It was probably shouldn't have reversed it. But anyways, get back to it. I'm happy to lock in Tuipulotu, mate. Those scrums in the second half. So we'll give it to rookie Tito Tuipulotu. I believe he's Samoan. That's why I'm saying it that way. Otherwise, it'd be Tuipulotu the way that should be, man.
Yeah.
Before I get roasted in the comments. At hooker, mate, I don't think I've seen much of this guy play, but very impressed. 2 tries against the Crusaders, Jacob Devery, and then I had Fijian hooker Ikanavere.
I actually was looking at both of them as well.
Yeah.
The old Hurricanes hooker, he was actually out all last season. He had an injury. So it was interesting for him to score. I mean, he played well, but I just think Ikanavere for the Drua, he is by far the most, I know it's only one game, but not even the previous seasons, he's the most consistent player alongside Mussy. I just think he's the heart and soul of that Drua forward pack, and he's their captain, and he leads by example, and he did it again against the Brumbies. He just carries so hard, and he's so fit and mobile, and he just gets around the paddock. His work rate's awesome, so I have to go with Kinevere.
Yeah, I'll have to back you there as well. Most hookers get their tries off the back of mauls, but this guy is breaking lines. He's doing back row stuff, mate. He's unreal. when he broke through and set up that first try, mate, it was unreal, and helped my fantasy. So thank you, Ikanavere, and we'll get you in that lock in Ikanavere at number 2 and number 3. Another bench player. All the bomb squads are getting a spot. I don't think I had another name. I had to give it to Sifa Amone. Freeney was giving the Waratahs bench shit last week on our Thursday pod, and I'm glad that I made sure that I mentioned his over 7-minute Bronco when they first came into preseason, and then he beat it by a lot. He dropped 25 kgs, I believe, during the preseason. So he put in the work, and mate, it was great to see Sifa get the chocolates. I had him at tight head. Do you have anyone different?
No way. I had him as well. I mean, what? It was the week of the 2 props right there, straight off the bench. We'll talk about some impact, wasn't it? Oh man, what a game!
Unreal. So let's lock in Sifa Mone. Locks position. I only had one that I was really, really impressed with, Caleb Delaney from the Hurricanes. He was really busy in that first half, great in the line out as well. I can't think of, who did you have? I'm trying to think of other locks that stood out.
Yeah, you look around, I mean, there wasn't really any too big standouts. I think one, I got 2 here. One is Natoa Akoi from the Chiefs. I thought he played well, and he played the whole game. His work rate was massive. Because Tupuvai obviously swapped off Josh Lord. I just thought his energy around the paddock, that game, I thought he played well. And the other one was Cullen Grace. His work rate is, again, because he's normally a back rower, and they had him at lock, and his work rate for the Crusaders, exceptional. He just carries hard, gets over the gain line. So any 3 of them, I'll leave it to you, Tony, to pick it.
We'll go Delaney and Nato Akoi. Mate, he got hit a few times too, but he just kept coming back. It's like he loves it. He loves it, mate.
He's a character, isn't he?
Yeah. At 6, I couldn't think of many. I only had Sydney Uni product, Nick Champion de Crespigny, mate, outstanding. He kept going, 12 hit-ups and 15 tackles at 100% against Moana. Played the whole 80 as well. Who did you have at 6? I had Miracle, actually, as well.
Yeah, I had Miracle as well, Whailangi. I thought they both played well. Both different players, aren't they? You know, one's range, one gets around the field real rangy, the other one carries hard over the gain line. But I just thought with Miracle, I mean, he was
something different.
The amount of line breaks he had, he brought something different. That's why I went with him.
All right. Since we both had Miracle, we'll lock in Miracle Whailangi. At 7, this long list, starting with Luke Reimer. We all know what he did to single-handedly win that game. Duplessis Karifi, captain's knock for the Hurricanes, unlucky not to get the win, and also Dalton Papali'i. Mate, both the stats in all their favour as well. So who did you have?
I had Luke Reimer. It has to go to him.
Yeah.
Duplessis here, what a big shift from him. I thought he played exceptional for the Canes.
Yeah.
But I think Reimer just he turned that game.
Yeah.
Oh, hold up. Sorry. I'll say it again. He fucked our multi up.
Yeah. He let us know too. He let us know.
He did let us know in the DM. So, good mate. Good chat. Good honest chat there, isn't it? But he turned the game for the Brumbies. He was massive. So I have to go with Reimer.
Yeah, let's lock in Luke Reimer. He's the only one out of those 3 that actually single-handedly got the win, got the 5. I don't know, that's 4 points. So
it cost me $400.
Lock in Luke Reimer. Mate, how good was he, mate? Outstanding. It was pissing me off because our multi was gone, but mate, he was gone. I was laughing when someone was trying to clean him out. It's like no effect. They just go and they're like flipped over the top of him and like, he's that good over the ball. And at 8, I had Crusaders number 8, Christian Lil Willie. I thought he had some decent tough carries. Who did you have at? I'm trying to think of other 8s.
I actually had the force recruit from the Rebels, Ikuasi.
Oh, yeah,
number
Ikuasi,
8. I thought he played well for the force. Obviously, come across from Auckland as well. But man, every time he got the ball, he just got over gain line. He just carries so hard. And I thought for his debut for the Force, he played the whole back row for the Force played well.
Yeah.
All three of them. So I had to give my chocolates to him.
Yeah, I was actually impressed with him too. So let's give it to Ekawasi. The old Scarface, mate. He goes hard. Okay, at number 9, we'll probably have to give it to Kyle Preston because he was that good. But, mate, Ratima was just outstanding for me. Like, I know he had a good year last year, but he just looks different this year. Like, when he came on, mate, yeah, I'm a big fan. Like, last year you were trying to sell me on him. Ratima, I'm like, nah, Russ. And then I was like, Hotham, and then he's the future. And then, mate, Ratima on the weekend, mate, just the speed. That's what I like from my nines, just speed of the ball. No, none of this just looking around. Yep. I'm like, just get the ball out.
Off the ground.
Yeah. I'm sure they would have got it in the video session. I think even my head has it glued in at the 63rd minute. He would have got 4 tries, Kyle Preston. 63rd minute, because they were going around the corner too hard, the Hurricanes, if he just looked up and just went straight, he would have scored. So, mate, it's just one of those things, mate, as a young halfback, but, mate, 3 tries. Mate, unbelievable, mate. And he's a gun player. So, yeah, Kyle Preston. Lock in Kyle Preston.
I tell you what, though, Ratima, he's nice, isn't he? He's nice.
Yeah, man. It'll be interesting to see if they keep doing that bomb squad because it's dangerous, mate. It's dangerous. At 10, I had Donaldson, but also I had D-Mac at 15 or 10. So since he played both positions,
I had him at 15, D-Mac, but then I'd actually pushed him to 10 because I thought he played. Well, he just had more opportunities at 10 in the second half when obviously sliding into the first receiver role. So, I have D-Mac at 10.
Who would you have?
So I'll let you make the call.
Who would you have at 15 if we're not selecting D-Mac there?
I had Will Jordan at 15.
Oh, yeah, he was
I thought he played well for the Crusaders.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to make that switch.
That was the trade-off.
Yeah. Well, we've got to think of these things when we're selecting. D-Mac did play his best footy at 10 on the weekend, so we'll go D-Mac at 10. And, yeah, let's go Will Jordan at 15. So we got 15 out of the way as well. When the Hurricanes were in the lead, it looked like the Crusaders like last year when they first started. It's like you want someone to stand up, and I feel like Will Jordan did that, like going in that first receiver around the short side a few times, and just getting him in that right places. And mate, Will Jordan, dangerous. I hate when the Crusaders win because they win too much the last few years, but mate, it's good to see them flying. They're just entertaining to watch.
Don't we all get sick of them?
Yeah. Okay, and then we'll go centers. I had Timothy or Lolomilo at 12. Who'd you have 12?
I had Tomosi.
Yep, Tomosi. How many?
I thought
4.
He's another one. He's another one that it's hard to get off the ball. He latches on the ball and you've lost it. If you don't beat him to the rock, you've lost the rock.
Yeah.
So, but I had him. I had him at 12. Lolo Milo, he's a massive shout out to him.
Yeah. So let's lock in Timothy Tavatavanawa. 13, I was trying to think of 13. Who did you have at 13?
At 13, there was, I'd say it was a little bit quiet from the 13 side of thing. I do think Patafilo at 13 played well.
Yeah.
For Moana. In the losing side, he just opened up his wingers real well with Taumupio, obviously sweeping around, and he just carried hard. He's not a big body, but he carries hard and he runs good lines. So I went with him.
I like his when he bounces out those lines in the back line. So mate, he's he played for Crusaders, didn't he? Looks from.
No, he was, but he's a Wellington boy.
Okay.
He's and then he went down to the Crusaders, and
So at 13, we've locked in Patafilo. Wings, I had Karen Tamoefalau from Moana, and then I had Seville Reese. Who'd you have on the flanks?
Obviously, Seville Reese on the left. No way anyone was taking that off him. On my right wing, there's a few guys. I just felt it's either Fehi or Leroy Carter. I thought Leroy Carter played well.
The 2 sevens boys.
The 2 sevens boys, both on debut for their franchises. So I'll let you pick that one, Tony, because I thought they both played well.
You're the back here, mate. So I think you should you pick the 2 wingers.
I do, oh,
So Reese and
I'm going to have to Leroy. There you go, Leroy for me.
Leroy Carter. And Will Jordan at the back. So that was our team of the week. Make sure you let us know. I'm sure you guys will let us know. Let us know in the comments where we effed up. Alrighty. Now, that was our Super Rugby roundup, but we're not over with the Super Rugby. We got our Super Rugby fantasy update, proudly brought to you by Grail Flex. Vons, how did you? Firstly, we'll go in the public league, the Punters League. How did you go in that league?
Very good. I thought I went real well. 740 points for myself. Not as well as you. I did see your score.
Thank you.
So I thought, ooh, not bad. I would say that there was one glitch which a few people saw in fantasy. I don't know if you saw it, but our good mate Tualima from the Brumbies, they had him as a prop.
What?
And he's actually playing at flanker. So I put him as tight head prop and got plenty of points off him.
Hopefully they fix that.
Thank you, Twiner, for your 41 points.
How did he get 41 when he dropped about 10 balls in the first 10 minutes? Nah, it's just a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke, man. He's my friend. Man. He's my friend.
Oh man. Obviously Mussy had a pretty quiet game, you would think. Obviously Mark Tilly, another one, but Sybil Reese and McKenzie. I mean, if you're not putting McKenzie as your captain, something's wrong.
Yeah, I'm sitting at fourth, 821 points. 13 points.
Oh.
But at the top, we've got Big Muscle, 889. I did the booster. I after the Friday night games, I noticed that I was way down, and I noticed a lot of the other teams were way up, and I'm like, oh, they must have used their booster early, because you can only use them 3 times throughout the year, and yeah.
Well, you got Yeah.
So I used it on my captain.
I saw that. I think everyone that was up the top will use their triple captain points.
Yeah.
But obviously you've lost it for the rest of the year. But hey, mate, what a great pick from you guys, because he was the highest point scorer that round. So
yeah,
it ended up being a great pick in the end. But yeah, I did see. I saw you way up there.
We'll go across to our top league. I think they're still glitching. They're fixing our points in the top league. How did your team go? Well, they probably haven't still fixed it yet.
They don't have all the points out. That's the problem. But I think I'm going to go all right. But because I'm going against big Tino, big Tino there, and he wasn't doing too bad as well. So kind of have to wait on that. I have to kick myself though in the foot, because Reimer I had on the bench, and I couldn't get him in my starting team, even though I tried to backdoor him, but it didn't work. So, but Seville Reese, mate, he was worth a lot of points that round. So
yeah,
great I got him.
Pretty sure I had Seville Reese as well, but D-Mac, has to be 100% in everyone's team. If you don't have D-Mac in your team, then you're playing it wrong. So, mate, he did well for me. And, mate, I'm pretty sure I got over. We'll wait until they update all the scores, but I was up against Chris and the Farls team. Mate, just proud of the boys putting in the work during the preseason. So, mate, we got that first one. You got to get that first one. Like in the public league, I'm going to go all my boosts, whatever, all those little things. I'm going to go early. So I'm up in the table and people are talking about the Gators early. That's what we've got to get. We've got to get a good start and then let people know that we're not here to muck around, mate. Last year was just a scrams. I know you did well, mate. You came in and saved the day on our payout, which, but yeah, this year 100% legend payout. So, mate, whoever wins is going to get the 1.5, and then in the public league you're going to get the 500. So, mate, you going to put any more changes next week, or you going to any? Because we only get two. Is it 2 trades?
We only get 2 trades, but before that, I'm still waiting on my money from last year. I feel like this is Samoan rugby. I'm still waiting for my tala.
Hey, mate, yeah, mate. It's one on Johnny's tab. He's still waiting for his credit card repayments.
But a couple of trades. We're going to have to wait till Wednesday when the team lists come out, obviously.
True.
So
and all
it'll be interesting to see the team list. But I will be picking Fraser McWright somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't pick any reds on my bench, so I only got 2 trades. I'm thinking there's a few. I won't say who I'm going to trade out, but some of the boys didn't, put in the work. I gave them the opportunity early to show, if you want to be part of something great, then you got to take the opportunity. And some of the boys didn't take it. So we're going to make some calls tomorrow, and you'll see some new names coming in around Wednesday. So we'll update you on the next pod. So hope you guys did well on fantasy. Shout out to Big Muscle. Big Muscle leading the race in our public league, and mate, you might see him in our top 14 next year if he keeps up the good work. All right, nice. That was our fantasy rugby update, proudly brought to you by Grail Flex. Okay, we were going to have a big rugby quiz off, but Nems is having a rest after his weekend, and Ironside is I don't know, mate. If you're listening, guys, I hope you're doing well, mate. Thinking of you, mate. And hopefully see you next Sunday. We'll try again next Sunday, mate. Have you ever called in sick 4 weeks in a row, mate?
I'll tell you what, we might have to get HR soon to go check up on him, give him a bit of a welfare check, I think.
Yeah. So, if you're listening and you want to...
friends, he could be HR.
And also, if you're listening, just in case, if you're listening and you feel like you could put your name in the hat for a bit of rugby punditry, keep your eye out on Pig Athletic Club LinkedIn, just in case a new spot appears, because Ironside's too busy in love. Must be nice, mate. But that was our show. Any shout outs over the weekend?
Nah, just great to have the best round of rugby in a very long time, I feel like, and it's only going to be up and up from here, so keep the good rugby going in Super Rugby. Yeah,
my shout out, I got a few shout outs, starting off with our best friends in the whole wide world. We'll be there on Friday in Moana kit, but we'll still be supporting the Reds as well. We'll be wearing my Moana jersey, which hopefully arrives. So got the express post of the new jersey. So, mate, shout out to the Reds. Must have been hard for them just to watch on, and, mate, some exciting games. So, the Reds fans, make sure you get out there. We will have a discount code to support our charity as well, so make sure you use that discount code when you're getting your tickets for the Reds, and let's just get around the boys. And shout out to people that don't really get shout outs. They always get hate online because us fans can be a bit like that, a bit greedy, but shout out to organisers of Super Rugby. What a round of rugby, mate. Exciting. Yep. Fantasy has helped get the excitement, and, mate, it's a good product, great product. I thought the changes they made it like, at first I was like, what the fuck are they trying to get rid of scrums? But I'm like, when it's not straight and they're just tapping the ball, I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. Like, you're not waiting around because you already waited for the line out. No, you're not waiting for another set piece. But we still had our scrum battles. We still got that in the game, which is great. And make sure you, it's just thank you. And sorry, I was talking shit before. And another one, the refs, especially the New Zealand refs, they were outstanding. Like, some of the Aussie refs, some of them actually really good, the Aussie refs, but I think the Kiwi refs just...
Name them.
I think the Kiwi refs just let, like, some things, you got to read the room. It's one of those things where you got to read the room, like, and let the game flow. Because if you go by the letter of the law, you're going to be blowing the whistle every damn second. Like, just some things you got to let, like, you could have penalised every ruck because, like, they were slowing down tackler trying to roll away. Whereas some refs blew the whistle a bit too much on that, but some refs were like telling him just get out of the ball or telling scrum halves just to get the ball out. So shout out to the refs. It was great spectacles, great to watch. The product, I think, is fixed. I think rugby's great already. But, mate, shout out to the refs and all the officials.
Actually, I will give out shout outs. Now, I know you made me think about it. I have to give the flowers to the refs. You're right. I thought you were going to say for a second though, but we don't say names around here. So,
hey, can we cut that one out, mate? He's my friend, mate. He's my friend. It's Queensland product, mate.
But look, I think the best thing about Super Rugby that they're trying to get rid of is time wasting.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a stoppage in play, we set the scrum. Let's set the line out. Let's kick now. Like, everything is quick, which is great for fans. We just want the game flowing. So awesome from the rest, and we don't give enough love because a lot of the times we do give them a lot of hate. Yeah. But obviously, big shout out to the rest. And Tony, obviously we're going to the game on Friday night, and if anyone's listening that might want to have a little drink beforehand at the Caxton, we'll be sort of hanging around there around 4ish. So if anyone wants to come around, then come have a drink.
Yeah, so, exactly. If you want to, hang around with a couple of uncles, mate, come down to Caxton and have a few brewskis before we go and celebrate what awesome game it's going to be. Make sure you get down to Suncorp or Caxton beforehand, and we'll see you on the weekend. Fons, thanks for calling in. We'll see you on the Thursday pod. And Nems, great call. I thought because last year I think it was his first sort of time on the broadcasting. I heard him a lot more yapping, which was good, and I feel like we're helping, like with his speech, So, mate, it was good. It was good to see hear a lot more of Nems, and mate, love your work, mate. So, we'll see you next week. A lot of brown nosing going on here, mate.
See you later, Tony.
See you, mate.